Hi, I'm Eden Carey and I'm going to show you how to import an Adobe Photoshop Mix project into Adobe Photoshop Creative Cloud. First thing I want to do is open up my Adobe Photoshop Mix. I've already made a project, so I'm going to open that one up. And all I'm going to do is straight away just hit the share button and I'm going to open up in Photoshop Creative Cloud. As you can see, it is saving this project. It is now stored in the Creative Cloud. So I'm just going to hit OK and I'm going to go over to my desktop computer, and you will find that it does already open up automatically, but I'll show you how to find it on your computer as well. Okay, so I'm on my desktop computer now, and as you can see on the left hand side I have my Creative Cloud files. I can go into Photoshop, and this is where it all got saved from Photoshop Mix, and I have my project here. As you can see, it's a PSD file, and I just open it straight up into Adobe Photoshop Creative Cloud. On the right hand side I have my layers, and exactly I can continue editing how they were before. As you can see, they are all separate elements, so I can adjust them as I like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place in 2 extra images, and I'm going to create another clipping mask, and then I'm going to add some text and put that all together and export it. So there we have our moon, or our Death Star. I'm just going to apply that change. I'm going to place the picture of me as well, and I already edited this in Adobe Photoshop Fix. There's a picture of me there. I'm just going to resize that image a little bit smaller. Okay, and I'm just going to move these layers just to the top, just so they're on the top layer there. So what I need to do is I'm just going to go to layer, and I'm going to just rasterize all of those layers so that they are directly editable. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to resize that Death Star so it's a little bit bigger. And ideally I would hold down Shift to make sure that this stays in proportion. And as we can see, we've got black there, and it just looks like a bit of a square on a page. So I'm going to grab the magic wand tool. So whenever you see that little triangle, just click and hold, and you've got more options, but magic wand is what I want. I'm going to select the black there. As you see, I have the layer selected. I'm just going to hit delete on the keyboard, and that automatically removes. Control D just deselects. Move that Death Star back into position. I'm going to click on my layer, a picture of me, and I'm going to move that up a little bit higher. And then what I'm going to do, right hand click, create clipping mask. And as you can see, now I'm inside the Death Star. So I'm going to go to opacity. I'm going to change the opacity so the picture of me, as you can see, that you can see me, but I'm blurring a little bit more into the Death Star. So I'm happy with it how it is there. What I also want to do is just give a little bit of a, well, don't want to magic wand it. We're going to lasso around me so that we don't see the background. Now ideally, what we should be doing is doing the lassoing in Adobe Photoshop Mix, and then bring it in, because doing it on your computer is a lot harder. I have me selected, but I actually want to inverse that. So go to select inverse, and it's just selecting all the outside. If I hit delete, and because I've only got the layer of me selected, not the rest of it, it only deletes the outside of it. So you can see there that I'm now inside the moon, but it doesn't look quite right. So what we're going to do as well, with the layer selected, we're going to go to blend, and we're going to go to multiply. And now I see that I've merged a little bit more with it. And now what we're going to do is make me black and white. So making sure the layer is selected, I'm just going to go to here and select the black and white. Now it is making everything black and white. It does come up with the properties so I can change that. We're just going to remove that one. And we're just going to grab and adjust this. So the only thing that's going to be black and white is going to be me. And so now I've just applied that black and white to this particular image. Makes it look like a little bit more that I'm in the Death Star. You can always go back here and change the opacity just so you can see me a little bit clearer. But there we go. And the last thing I'm going to do is go to my text tool and add the text Star Wars. Just going to go to my selection tool and move that across. Also at the top I have Show Transform Control, so I can just resize that one if I like, make it a bit bigger. And there we have it. Star Wars, Death Star, and my Darth Vader. What we're going to do is go and apply that transformation, layer, flatten image, which just puts all of those layers into one locked layer so we can't actually edit anything any longer. And we go to File, Export, Export As, and we're going to export that as a PNG file. PNG. We can allow transparency, just makes it see-through if there's any transparent areas, and all we have to do is hit Export All. There's our sample, export, and save to our location, Star Wars, PNG file, save. And that's it completed. So again, I edited all of this in Adobe Photoshop Mix, and then I have my images that I imported straight into Photoshop on my desktop, and the text I had in my desktop as well. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you.